Our US dollar is in trouble. The future is not looking good for the value of our dollar as countries work to undermine it and as it continues to fall. Thank God, however, President Donald Trump is in office. He's enacting a genius plan right now that, in all honesty, could wind up saving our US dollar for generations to come. And I'm going to tell you how he's going to do that right now on American Advocates. This is where it all starts right here. BRICS. These 5 countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, came together years ago because they were sick and tired of using the U.S. currency for all major transactions and allowing the U.S. currency to be the #1 currency in the world. So these 5 countries came together and agreed to exchange each other's currencies in some of their transactions to deliberately undermine America and the U.S. dollar value. And it's been working straight up. It's been a slow grind on their part to do so, but they are chipping away at it, and they are dedicated to the cause of doing so. So what has President Donald Trump done about this? He has decided to do something that you would not expect a 79-year-old man to think of or to feel comfortable doing, and that is tying up our US dollar in cryptocurrency. What President Donald Trump has decided to do is to use what's called a stablecoin. And briefly explaining that to you, a stablecoin is a type of cryptocurrency designed to maintain a stable value, often pegged to a fiat currency like the US dollar or a commodity like gold. Unlike other cryptocurrencies that experience price volatility, stablecoins aim to provide a more stable medium of exchange and store of value. This stability makes them suitable for various applications, including everyday transactions, cross-border payments, and as a hedge against the volatility of other cryptocurrencies. Honestly, the use of these stablecoins being tied with our US dollar is summarized decently well right here.
The potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the US dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for US treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates.
So you can see there's a lot of benefit, potential benefit at least, to using cryptocurrency and pegging our dollar to cryptocurrency, because the petrodollar and our US dollar across the globe has been undermined by BRICS and by other countries now. However, tying up our US dollar to cryptocurrency has some roadblocks involved. Particularly the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, currently oversees and regulates cryptocurrency. And the SEC also currently regulates stocks and bonds. And while it does a good job of regulating stocks and bonds, it is ill fit for cryptocurrency, a postmodern, digital, futuristic form of currency that, quite honestly, doesn't need the level of scrutiny and strictness and policy adherence that the SEC demands upon it. So what President Donald Trump is doing is he's eyeing up what's called the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. This commission is primed for overseeing cryptocurrency. It has looser regulations, which makes it easier for cryptocurrency startups, new crypto coins. They're less strict when it comes to their policies and enforcements on cryptocurrency, allowing for more innovation and for more growth in the cryptocurrency market. This is going to be vital for the future of the US dollar if it's to be tied in with cryptocurrency, which President Donald Trump is absolutely pushing for. And so what we have here is called the Clarity Act, or the HR 3633 Digital Asset Market Clarity Act of 2025. This is going before the House today to be voted on. The most important segment right here says, this bill is a pro-growth, pro-freedom framework that gives digital asset businesses the certainty they need to build the future of finance right here at home. Home being America, of course. It empowers market participants, strengthens consumer trust, and ensures the next generation of financial infrastructure is anchored in American values and powered by American exceptionalism. And essentially what this act is going in front of the House of today is to help remove cryptocurrency from the control of the SEC into the control of the CFTC, to loosen up the guidelines, to remove a lot of the restrictions, and to allow for the growth and innovation needed in these stable coins. This is Tom Emmer explaining it incredibly well right here.
This week, we are delivering on President Trump's promise to make America the crypto capital of the world. For too long, digital asset innovation in this country has been stifled by ambiguous rules, instability, and the Biden administration's anti-crypto crusade. Now we have the opportunity to pass a comprehensive, nonpartisan digital asset legislation that will unlock the next era of American innovation, protect consumers, and strengthen the U.S. dollar. Where ambiguity and unclear jurisdiction have stifled blockchain innovation, the Clarity Act will create a much-needed regulatory framework for the digital asset marketplace. Doing this not only gives builders and firms the rules of the road, it also ensures consumers are protected against fraud and bad actors. And the Senate's Genius Act will peg stablecoins to a stable currency like the U.S. dollar, opening the door for the United States to lead the world in digital finance.
Two things to note there from that speech. First and foremost, he does claim that this is a bipartisan act, and in truth, it should be. This is for the betterment of America and the preservation of our U.S. dollar value. However, in true Democrat fashion, they are lobbying against this bill because, one, it gives Donald Trump a lot of credit, which they do not want him having. And number two, they're sneakily trying to suggest that Trump's name is involved with one of these stable coins that he is going to link our US dollar to. So the Trump family will be profiting from this. And apparently to them, that is just so outrageous. They are on their high horse about this. Nevertheless, it should pass the House, and rightfully so. And the second thing is he brings up the Genius Act, and that's next on what I want to show right here, because the Genius Act is going to be also very important for the success of our US dollar being tied up with these stable coins. And essentially, in very small print here, it says this bill establishes a regulatory framework for payment stablecoins, digital assets which an issuer must redeem for a fixed monetary value. So the idea here is, once again, we do not want our dollar being tied up in these volatile cryptocurrency coins like Bitcoin, where one morning it's $101,000 per coin, and then the next morning it's down to $55,000 per coin somehow. Obviously, we don't want that. But how do you stabilize a stable coin and ensure that it remains at relatively the same value consistently enough so that people treat it like a dollar bill, basically? We essentially want our US dollar linked to a stable coin that reflects a dollar bill. And the way you do that is by passing the Genius Act of 2025, which forces the stable coins to be directly linked to safe assets, like a treasury bond, which is going to play a fundamental part in these stable coins. And these are the three main stable coins that are rumored and most likely going to be the ones pegged to our US dollar going forward. First and foremost, we have USD1. This is the one that is linked to the Trump family name. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this is more something that Barron Trump is going to profit off of. That would be even funnier. But you can see the value is sitting just a hair under $1, and it never really falters off the 99-cent mark. We also have this coin right here. This is the USDC coin. Again, basically the same value through and through, and also Ripple USD. And so with these three main coins, USD1, USDC, and Ripple USD, we now expect them through the Genius Act to be backed by safe assets, U.S. Treasury bonds, etc. This will give users the confidence to use them in daily purchases like discussed, and also in cross-border purchases. This is important because this is how we can get this expanded across the world and to get more and more people spending with these coins, which again makes our dollar linked to these stable coins the prominent dollar still. And the funniest part about all of this is a move now that even former critics of President Donald Trump, like Ken Langone over here, are now coming out and saying that this is such a brilliant move that they now back President Donald Trump on this. And in Ken's words, he can see President Donald Trump apparently being labeled as one of the best presidents of all time if he pulls this move off.
Look, let me tell you right now, I am sold on Trump. In fact, I'll say this. I think he's got a good shot at going down in history as one of our best presidents ever.
That is a real turnaround because you didn't want to vote for him.
I tell you the reason. I want to tell you, I'm a believer. What I'm seeing happening is absolutely nothing short of a great thing. And there's a beat. People are walking with more bounce in there. It's all around.
I gave you quite a bit of grief.
Huh?
I gave you grief.
You give me grief?
I gave you grief when it was a binary choice. You're still complaining about Trump and it was a binary choice. It's like, are you kidding me?
Knowledge implies one thing. When you made a mistake, admit it.
This is just what Donald Trump does. He proves the critics wrong. And to wrap this all up in a nice, neat little package for everybody, this is what President Donald Trump's plan is for BRICS, those 5 countries that have just formed together to undermine our U.S. dollar. Take a listen.
So you've talked about India coming. But then a couple days ago, you issued a new tariff threat to members of the BRICS countries for if they aligned with anti-American policies.
10%, George.
That would be India, Brazil,
That's
Russia,
right, they have to pay
South Africa.
10% if they're in BRICS. Because
Right.
BRICS was set up to hurt us. BRICS was set up to degenerate our dollar and take our dollar as the standard, take it off as the standard. And that's okay if they want to play that game, but I can play that game too. So anybody that's in BRICS is getting a 10% charge.
So not only is he circumventing BRICS by embracing the future in the form of cryptocurrency, not only is he changing the way cryptocurrency will be regulated with the Clarity Act, not only is he changing the way cryptocurrency is backed and supported with the Genius Act by directly linking it to safe assets like treasury bonds, which of course is backed by our US dollar, thus pegging the US dollar to these stablecoins. But now on top of it, he seeks to undermine BRICS even more so by imposing a flat 10% tariff on any country involved in BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. These countries, by the way, are going to have to come to the table when it comes to making trade deals with America and deal with tariffs from that trade deal. And then whatever tariffs they're slapped with on those trade deals, you can then add a 10% tariff on top of that for being a part of BRICS. President Donald Trump is moving like an absolute unit right now, a kingpin, and this is what a leader looks like. He may single-handedly prevent our US dollar from falling, from being undermined, and from losing value. He is saving our US dollar, and thus, in all honesty, saving America for generations to come. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and please subscribe to American Advocates for more content like this. Thanks for watching.